Hello YouTubers and welcome to yet another Alco review with me, Peter the Master of Hoppets, today joined by
Glann,
who likes, whiskeys and whatnot. And today we're going to be looking at my first ever French whiskey. Single malt French whiskey that was sent from Charade and Alon in France. Charade was kind enough to send a sample of whiskey for an Alco review as well. Which we have the small sample bottle here. It says Kornog. And we already have the whiskey poured out. So this is from Kornog, or the distillery is called something else, but I have all the info here, which I will get you guys. But the distillery is called Glann Distillery, which means the Breton coastline or something like that. It's a distillery located in Brittany, which is where Charade is located in France, and this is their Kornog Taouarc'h Pevared 14SC.
Okay.
And he said he didn't even know how he would pronounce that name. So Kornog is their peated whiskey. They do single malt whiskeys and then single malt whiskeys that are peated, and the Kornog line is the peated versions. And this specific one, the 14SC, is aged in Sauterne casks. So Sauterne is a French dessert wine. Mikkeller has actually done a lot of beers aged in Sauterne barrels. I've never had Sauterne, but this one has been aged in them. It says for an undisclosed amount of time, but it looks really nice in the glass here. It's a nice golden yellow color, very light in color. Yeah. Looks nice. Nice alcohol legs, nice curtain on the glass. I want to check out the aroma on this whiskey. Let's do it. Oh, you can get some sweetness. I mean, it's much sweeter than your average, like Scottish Islay peated whiskeys.
Yeah.
What are you smelling, Pete?
Well, it's very, what's the word? Wine-like.
Yeah, it's got some wine sweet. Yeah, minus. Vinous. Yeah, because it's got some sweet grape kind of notes. I don't know if Sauterne is white or red wine, but I'm thinking like white grapes.
Definitely. And
you get the smoke. You're getting the peat.
Well, it doesn't smell that peated.
No. It's not as like peated as something like Lefroy or some of the peat project. Lambics, I was about to say. What the hell? Peat project.
But it tastes
Scotches
like it's
from
like meaty peated, whatever that's called.
Yeah, a little bit. There's like a meaty, peaty smoke.
Yeah.
To it. A little bit of a mineral quality. Also, I'm getting like stewed apples. Cooked apples, red or green apples with that grape. It's got more bright fruitiness, I think.
Yeah.
Than they say if you age in like sherry casks or Oloroso casks or something like that. Because that's often what some single malts are aged in, and that gives off more deeper, berries and stuff. I think this is more bright fruits.
Yeah, it is definitely.
Smells pretty good though. Do you want to give it a taste?
Yeah, sure.
So cheers, and thanks a ton to Alon and Charade for the French single malt whiskey. Much more savory on the flavor than I expected.
Yeah. And more peated as well.
Yeah. Not as sweet. It does have some sweetness to it though.
Yeah.
But it's not as an intense sweetness.
It's a little bit sour.
Yeah, like a tart twang.
Yeah.
Not sour, but it's like tart twang, which might be from Sauterne. Like most of the beers I've had that's been aged in Sauterne barrels have been like Brettanomyces beers and whatnot. So you already get somewhat of a slight sourness to it. But I can see that in here. It says it's a sweet French dessert wine too, but I think it's maybe just because it's a wine barrel that it's got some sourness to it.
Like with the apples that aren't ripe yet.
Yeah, it's got that apple, that I'm like thinking green stewed apples, but you're also getting some mineral, definitely umami, savory flavor. That salty, smoky, peaty flavor, which is nice for me. I'm a big fan of peated whiskeys. It's quite balanced too, though. You get a nice alcohol warmth, but the flavors are not like the peat isn't as intense as you get in some of the Islay peated malts. Rating-wise, for the... I needed to look up the name. I can't remember that on the top of my head. For the Kornog Taouarc'h Pevared 14 SC. Yeah, let's think. The last peated whiskey I rated was Lafroig 10, I think, which I gave like a 93 or something like that. I love the onrush of peat on Lafroig 10. This is more balanced, maybe a little bit more complex because it's not just all peat. So I'm probably like 92, something like that. It's actually a pretty nice whiskey. It's got very nice balance between peat and other flavors. But again, I am no whiskey expert, so take some of these Alco ratings with a grain of salt. It's just, you know, what I prefer. Kind of like with the beer. Even though I know a whole lot more about beer than I do about a lot of spirits. But hey, this is a great way for both me and you as well to learn.
Yeah, well, to be honest, it's not exactly my taste. It's a bit too...
Tart? Or
well, sour. Well, not sour. Well, yeah.
I'd say it's like a slight tart fruitiness.
It's not sweet enough for me. That's basically it.
Yeah, but, bourbon is your man then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know you like peated whiskeys as well, but bourbon is usually sweeter. But yeah, so what are you thinking grade-wise?
Well, I'm going 89.
So let us know what you think of the whiskey. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name again if you've had a chance to try it. Thanks a ton to Alain and Gerard for this bad boy. And yeah, guys, as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. And we're going to say cheers.
Cheers.
And see you guys in another Alco review.